In 1980, Audi introduced the greatest all-wheel drive system we know of today as Quattro. Let's take a look at the latest iteration of this system. Welcome back, guys. Here we are at Zimbrick Audi of Madison. My name is Ryan McCrumb, and today I'm happy to introduce the new 2019 Audi A4. So there's a few differences between the 2018 and 2019 A4. This particular model is an S-Line, which gives it that sport appearance. The S-Line makes the car look a little more fierce on the road. It gives you those low curtains along the side of the car as well in the front and back. And you also get some nice silver indoor sills on the bottom as you enter the car. So looking at the front end of this car, you'll notice a slight revamping of the grille, giving it a much more dynamic and sophisticated look. Some of these 3D indentations that you'll find up close just make it very sharp. Now, you're going to have the daytime running LEDs. All right, so looking at the back end of this vehicle, a very dynamic look to it. It's almost got this waterfall essence to it. Now, one thing I want to point out are the exhaust pipes. Before we had a dual circular exhaust, very traditional look. Now we switched over to more of a flattened rectangular exhaust pipe look, which I think gives it a much more low to the ground, fierce look. And they are encased with this nice matte finish chrome that stretches all the way around to the other exhaust pipe. So before we make our way into the car, I want to point out the new handles that we have here. In previous models, they pulled straight out. This one, as you can see, lifts at an upward angle, which creates a much smoother door opening process. Okay, so here we are in the driver's seat. As you can see, there's much more headroom in this A4 than the previous model. Now, I'm also noticing some more shoulder room. As I was saying before, this car is slightly wider and longer. So not only am I going to have more shoulder and headroom, but it's a little roomier down here with my legs as well, which I appreciate. So everything you loved about the 18 dash and interior, you're going to find in the 19. So the first thing I want to highlight, if you're new to Audi, is our virtual cockpit. This is phenomenal. It keeps everything right ahead of you when you're driving, which is much more safe than looking off to your right at that center MMI. Now, scrolling through this virtual cockpit, there's a few different windows here. The first, you're going to find your mileage, your energy consumption, and you're going to have your long and short-term trip memory for distance. And you're also going to have a representation of your driver assistance. Now, if we scroll to the right, you're going to find your FM, AM radio, as well as your Sirius XM subscription that you get with this car for about 3 months. Now, if we go to the right once more, you're going to find where your phone is going to sync with the Bluetooth. Once you do this, you're going to have all your contacts right in front of you that you can scroll through, call whoever you'd like by pushing in the dial on your left, or simply the talk button on your right, and you could say whoever you'd like to talk to, and our MMI system will get that person on the line, hands-free in your car. So moving one more to the right, we're going to find our navigation with the RPMs and speedometer on either side. Now, there's two views. You can have it right up in front, or you can hit that view button and they'll kind of go off to the side and minimize a little bit. You can still see them, but your main focus is going to be that navigation right in front of you. So what's nice about having everything right in front of you behind the steering wheel is it frees up your MMI screen in the center to be on radio. You're going to be able to go through all your presets at the slide of a finger. Now you get 8 right in front of you, but you have 50 presets. So that way 1 through 8 can be Madison stations. Now when you drive to Milwaukee or Chicago, 9 through 16, 16 through 20, you could go on all the way up to 50, depending on where you're at for presets. Now, as we move our way down, we're going to take a look at the temperature and fan speed controls. Now, Audi's done a great job with this by saving space with this finger scrolling touch system. It's so sharp and intuitive, and makes it very easy to change fan speed and to either scroll with your finger on the wheel, and you'll find this digital reading right in the center showing what temperature you're setting it to. Now this car has a 3 climate control, so either person in the front and in the back can control that climate to make themselves as comfortable as possible. Now you'll notice the heated seats in the front, that's standard. Now this car in particular has a cold weather package, which gives you the heated steering wheel, which once you experience that in Wisconsin, you cannot live without it, as well as the heated seats in the back too. So your passengers will appreciate that. Now, moving downward from this, you're going to find another row of buttons. So on your very left, you're going to have a drive select. You could hit either arrow to get into that menu screen. Next, I want to take a look at this auto stop start, which you'll find just to the right of the drive select. Now, when you're at a stop sign or a stoplight, that engine will automatically shut down. And this is important because it saves fuel and it's more efficient when you're out there on the road. Now, as soon as you lift your foot up off the brake, the engine will fire up within a second and you're gone. If you want that off, no worries. You could just press that button and you could turn it off. However, when you start the car, it'll always automatically be on. So we'll keep that on. Now, just to the right of that, you're going to find your stabilization control, which you can also turn off. Now, we're going to leave this on because every time you're out there and you lose traction, whether it's on loose gravel or ice, that Quattro system is going to kick in and fire out power to whichever wheel needs it the most. If you're slipping in the front, it's going to shoot it to the back to push those front wheels through. And as soon as those back wheels start slipping, it's going to kick it right back to the front, and that front is going to pull the back wheels out of that slick. So always keep that on. Moving over to the right, we got the parking sensor, which when you press that, you're going to activate your camera. You don't always have to put it in reverse to get that camera if you're just at a standstill. Now, this is important because if you're in a parking garage or anywhere where you're backing out and you have low visibility to your sides, someone might be walking or driving that way and doesn't see you pulling out, that Audi Presense is going to kick in. It's going to beep at you with a warning sign right in your MMI in the virtual cockpit. And if it gets to the point where it feels like there's going to be a collision, there will be a jolt on the brake and the car will make an effort to stop itself, which is very safe. I love that feature because who loves a cracked bumper on a brand new, beautiful car like this that you just bought? Now, on the far right end of this lower column here, you're going to find an on-off button. If you press that, the center console will shut off. If you're on a long drive and let's say it's nighttime, you have everything right in front of you with the virtual cockpit. Why have this in your periphery? So you could turn that off to, make it a little easier in your eyes. But for now, we'll keep it on because it's nice. Now, looking at the center MMI control console, you'll find the MMI Touch, which is that nice draw pad on the top of the dial that you select your different menus on or zooming in and out when you're in the navigation. This is cool because you'll be able to draw the letters when you're spelling out the coordinates that you'd like to go to. Now, this isn't completely necessary because you could always hit the voice command and tell the MMI system where you'd like to go. I find that to be the easiest, but sometimes it doesn't always recognize it if you're in an odd area. That way you can just write it in and you don't have to select every letter by twisting the dial. Now, I love what they did to this center control system. Instead of having those 4 buttons with the different navigation, telephone, radio, and media, now we have these 2 little toggles that save room, and I just think they look really sharp. So to toggle up to nav, you just push it up towards nav and it goes right to the navigational screen. Now, inside each of these 4 main menus, you're going to have these little silver drawers on either side of the screen. Now, looking down on either side of this MMI Touch scroll wheel, you'll have these silver window buttons, and that's what you're going to want to hit to access those drawers. So for this, I can go into map settings, route criteria, voice guidance, navigational settings. To go back, you simply hit the back button right next to the main menu button above the wheel. And then to put in coordinates, you're going to want to go to that left drawer, and it's going to open up the destination input, traffic messages. If there's an accident up ahead, Audi's going to want to let you know about that. So as you can see, going back into the menu, we're going to have Audi Connect. Now, this car will have a 6-month free trial subscription when you purchase a 19, and after that you'll have to subscribe to this system, and it's a monthly payment similar to that of a cell phone bill, depending on how much data you use to pretty much turn this car into a hotspot. Now, looking at this gear shifter, this is different as of 2017, but I just love the way that all you have to do is give it a little nudge up for reverse, nudge it down for drive. It's an electronic gear shifter that always recoils to the center, and all you have to do is hit this little P button on the back with your thumb, which fits in perfectly ergonomic to how you hold the gear shifter besides, and you'll put the vehicle in park. Now, we're also going to have a parking brake. Just like you would pull up the bar, you're going to pull this little lever up, and that'll initiate the extra parking brake. Now, just like you put the lever back down, you push that button back down, you got to put your foot on the brake, however, and it'll release that parking brake. So another small detail I'd like to highlight on this A4 is I get asked all the time, where is the volume knob? I want to turn the music up, which is great when you're in a car like this with the Bang & Olufsen 3D sound system, giving you that concert experience. It's very exhilarating if you've never experienced it. But I tell them the knob is just to your right, and it seems not natural, but I tell you this, when you're driving, you want your hand to be right here at all times when you're messing with the controls. If you have to set temperature or fan speed, great, it's right there in front of you, but why lift up your arm when you don't have to? Audi's put this volume knob just to the right of the gear shifter, so with your elbow resting on the armrest, you can just move your hand right over and twist it without even moving your shoulder or anything. You're just pivoting your elbow on that armrest. It's very, very easy, very brilliant. And just below that, Audi has put a little compartment that you'll put your key in while you're driving, instead of putting it in your cup holder, because you want to free that up for your beverage. Now, another cool aspect of this armrest, if you lift it up, you'll find a wireless phone charging station that you can just put your phone on, and if your phone is capable of wireless charging, which I believe on the iPhone it started with the 8 and up, you can just place your phone right on that pad and your phone will start to charge. Now, looking back from that, we have an auxiliary input, which if you're not a fan of Bluetooth, you can always plug in an aux cord and play your favorite music on your phone, as well as this USB outlet that you can charge your phone. If you have a lightning cable, you can plug right into that and charge your iPhone. So looking up here, we're going to find our sunroof button that you just push forward or back to activate that sunroof, as well as an LED lighting switch. Now, you don't always have to have both of them on. That button activates both, but either person can just touch their light and it'll go on. I love these because they're so focused that when you're driving at night, you know, you used to be able to put on a light and the driver would go crazy. Hey, I can't see, turn that light off. These LEDs are much more focused and sharp, so the passenger can read a book and the driver can still drive in peace and not be distracted. Now, back from that, we have our 3 garage door buttons. Now, this is very easy to program. All you do is go up to your garage, you hold the button, and the wireless connectivity should be able to kick in, and you'll be able to open and close your garage without having a clip-on button on your visor here. Now, this particular model is the S line, which gives it that sport appearance package. Now, this comes with not only those silver sills on the inside of the doors, but also these nice matte finish chrome accents around the gray oak wood inlay, as well as above the air vent, which stretches all the way across the dash. I think this is so sharp, and it gives it a very retro yet futuristic vibe. I think it's so fresh and creative what Audi has done here. So if you'd like to learn any more about the Audi A4 or any of the amazing Audi vehicles we have here at Zimbrick, don't hesitate to click the links in the description and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we're going to have so many other videos highlighting the phenomenal vehicles we have here in store for you. And don't forget to stop by.